Hey guys, welcome back. Julia Dantas here. I'm going to show you how to get this super fun couples clown costume just in time for Halloween, so keep on watching. Alrighty, first things first, I'm going to be using a foundation shade that is 2 to 3 shades lighter than my natural face shade. So I'm mixing a white foundation with my ColourPop foundation and I'm applying this all over my face. I didn't want to do a pure white face, but I did want to do something a little bit whiter than my natural skin color. Next up, I'm going to use my concealer and I'm just going to conceal underneath my eyes to get rid of those lovely bags and just buff this out with a beauty sponge. Moving on to the brows, I'm going to do something a bit different and use a purple brow pencil. This is from Makeup Forever, and I just want to give my clown makeup a little bit more of a colorful effect. That's why I'm applying this purple to my brows. So doing the exact same steps as a regular pencil, just with a different color. Using my Be Perfect Carnival palette, I'm going to use this absolutely gorgeous pink and do window washer in circular motions just to buff this into my crease. I want my eyes to look super exaggerated with this eye look, so I'm going to clean up my eyelid with that concealer. I'm using the applicator that it comes with, and I'm exaggerating the crease a little bit, so I'm applying the concealer a little bit higher than my actual crease to make it look like my eyes are that much bigger. And then I'm quickly just applying a white glitter eyeshadow all over my eyelid. Going back into that purple pencil, I really want to define my crease and make it look that much bigger, and I really want it to pop, so I'm just going to punch this up. So next we're going to use a black eyeliner and we're going to outline our under eye socket. It helps if you widen your eye so that your wrinkles are kind of smoothed out, and then I'm going to extend this into a little point to give this more of a clown carnival effect. Using my red watercolor by Maven, I'm just going to do a little circle and then fill it in right on my nose. Next up, using a red blush, I'm just going to do circular motions right on the apples of my cheeks, and I'm really exaggerating this and packing this on so my cheeks are super rosy. Using a black gel eyeliner, I'm just going to give a little bit more definition to my eyebrows. I'm just outlining underneath and then doing a few hair strokes throughout the eyebrow. So to really accentuate the eyes, I'm going to be applying false lashes on the top and bottom of my eyes. And a little trick that I find works really well when applying bottom lashes is you actually want to flip the false lashes upside down, and I find doing this makes them more propped up on your eyes, so more exaggerated. And then of course we're just going to pop on our top lashes. Moving on to the lips, I'm grabbing my Makeup Forever red lip pencil and I'm just going to overline my lips and extending that on the outer parts of my lips so that I have a nice big smile. Then we're just going to fill in my lips with a red liquid lipstick. A liquid lipstick is so key for this look, especially if you're wearing this to a party, because it's not going to move around on you and it's going to stay in place all day long. Grabbing a white eyeliner, I'm just going to add some highlight to certain parts of my face. I'm highlighting my nose. I'm also going to highlight in between my false lashes and my actual lashes, and I'm also going to highlight my lips. So now for the really fun part, I'm going to make a clown tutu collar. So first I'm going to outline this with a brown eyeliner, and this just makes things a lot easier when we are using our watercolors so that we know exactly where we want things to be. So next I'm using my Maven watercolors, and I'm going to be filling this in every other with red, and then I'm going to switch over to blue. I'm also doing 2 coats to make sure everything is nice and pigmented. If you're trying this at home, you want to make sure that you're using something with a water base so that it dries. If you use something with an oil base, like a grease paint, sometimes you can get grease paints from your Halloween store. They won't dry on you, so they have a tendency of moving around. So you just want to make sure you're using the right product so everything stays in place and stays intact the whole night long. Last but not least, for my makeup look, I added blue to my neck piece. So I want everything to coordinate. I'm going back into that Be Perfect Carnival palette, dipping into a touch of the blue just to pop that into my crease. Alrighty, moving on to my lovely model and boyfriend. I decided to give my boyfriend Lee more of an easier approach if you guys are recreating this at home. And if your boyfriend's anything like my boyfriend, he probably doesn't want to wear a ton of makeup. So I'm first going to be blocking his eyebrows with my glue. You can get this right at the dollar store. You want to make sure that you're doing a few coats so the eyebrows are really nice and smooth onto his forehead. Now to take away the tackiness, we are going to use a translucent powder on top, and this will allow us to be able to use our foundations on top of the brows. Next up for the face, I'm using my Pure Bare It All foundation, and with a beauty sponge, I'm really packing this foundation on, really focusing on the brow area so that we block out these brows and you can't see them shining through in the makeup look. And I'm just building this up in layers until I get the desired coverage. Going back into my handy dandy setting powder, I'm just going to pack this all over his face so that the foundation doesn't move around on us. Then I'm going to go into a black gel eyeliner for his lovely brows. I decided, since I'm super colorful and look like a carnival clown, I wanted Lee to have a different look, so I decided to go with the sad clown approach. So I'm just using that black eyeliner to shape his brows, and this part is a little bit tricky, so just take your time. So I do want us to coordinate a little bit, so I'm going to apply that triangle that I have on my eyes on Lee as well. So I'm using the same black gel eyeliner. Some of the stuff is going to be repetitive, so don't mind, but I'm going back into that red water paint. I'm just going to fill his nose in, make it look like a nice little button, and then we're just going to define it with that black eyeliner. We can't forget about the rosy cheeks, so I'm going to go into that red blush, and I'm just going to do circular motions right on the apples of his cheeks so that we are twinning and that this clown is really going to start coming to life. Since Lee is going to be a sad clown, I'm using my blue watercolors to make 2 little teardrops on his face, and then I'm just going to define them with that black eyeliner once again. Moving on to the lips, I'm using that black eyeliner, and I'm just going to downturn his mouth to make him look like he's pouty, he's really sad, he's upset, he's angry, whatever you guys want to do. I'm just going to add expression, and then I'm going back into that liquid lipstick from ColourPop, and I'm just going to fill in his lips to give him a really nice clown effect. I told Lee to frown so that I could see where his natural expression would be, and then I'm just going to define that with that black eyeliner. The last thing we're going to do on Lee is grab that black eyeliner, super handy in this makeup look, and I'm just going to smoke out his lash lines to give his eyes more definition. So here is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this couple's makeup tutorial. Remember to check me out at Julia Dantas Beauty, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!